me for the last time!
Davros.
Welcome everyone, this is Master's Joke, also Master's Joke 75 on Instagram. Really looking forward to opening up my Emperor Davros, which I picked up in B&M in Letchworth. Honestly, I'm really excited about this. I think it looks pretty amazing. One thing I did notice when I was watching my toy hunt video, I noticed that one of the Davros figures that I picked up had a bit of a ding in it, but it looks like I didn't pick that particular figure up. So I was deciding, you know, because I wanted to make sure I open up the right one, because I'm not going to keep the box, especially as you've got to rip the bubble of the card, which in this case is such a shame because the backdrop is the Dalek mothership bridge. So it's such a shame, and even if you wanted to kind of hold on to the backdrop, which I know people do from time to time, I usually take a couple of photos and then I'll just chuck it. But even if you wanted to keep the backdrop for some photos, you'd have to cut the bubble off really neatly so that you don't cause any damage to the actual image, which it's a shame. And it's obvious to me that these boxes have been designed for a window, not for a bubble. Due to this bit here, which is they'll so easily be destroyed. You know, if they remained on the shelf at B&M for more than a few weeks, which I'm sure these sets won't. But I love it. I love the box. As I've mentioned in my previous video, I plan to get one of these boxes signed by Terry Malloy. I've met Terry before. He signed my Davros VHS box set, which I picked up in W.H. Smith's in Waltham Cross. I love it. I've still got all my VHS videos in the toy room on the shelf. I've got every single one. But yeah, I think it's great. But choosing what one to open, they're both in immaculate condition, these boxes, because they're perfect for a signature. That's what I like about these boxes. Absolutely perfect for a signature, either on the top or on the side there. But one thing I've noticed, if you look closely at the TARDIS, there's like there's kind of like area outside the TARDIS, whereas the way the other one's been cut, there's hardly any purple at all. So I know it's just the way it's being cut, but I think I prefer the look of this one than this one. So that's the only difference I can see. So I'm going to open this one, and I'm going to I'll be throwing the box away as well. Now my son says that this Davros looks like Skipperty Toilet, which I had never heard of until my son started showing me all the videos of the guy's head in the toilet with the scream from the guy off YouTube. What was it, Penguin or Moist? I don't know what his real name is, but he's quite interesting with it. You know, he makes some good points. But yeah, it does, it does look like someone in a toilet. I can see where my son's coming from. But I think it looks great. Although I'm not too sure about the colour of Davros's skin on his face. It doesn't look dark enough. It doesn't look brown enough. So that'll be interesting to see. But it's a lovely little box. $12.99. I still can't believe I thought this figure was going to be like £20, £25. So for Character and B&M, I know B&M actually choose what price they want to sell it for, and I think Character Options did the right thing this time, just not getting involved in the price, in the pricing, because we all know what happened there. Check out my video. But yeah, I think this is a lovely little box. It would have been better if they could have made the destroyed Dalek like the original Forbidden Planet set, but I'm happy with this. I never thought I'd own an Emperor Davros, but he looks great. I heard that the mould had been destroyed or lost years ago, but apparently this is the same mould, but it's got different paint applications. and it's got, you know, a bit of stuff on there about Emperor Davros. And Remembrance of the Daleks, it's my favourite Dalek of all time. I love the I love it. I love the colour scheme. Obviously it was the same colour scheme in Revelation of the Daleks, but there's just something about the new Remembrance Imperial Daleks that I love, including Davros and the Special Weapons Dalek, because it was new. It was new, but I think what kind of topped it off for me was going to the Museum of the Moving Image in the early 90s. I went twice, and actually getting to see the real Davros prop. And I remember these bits here, these gold bits here, these were mirrors. And I remember, I know you're not supposed to touch things, because you could press a button to make Davros's lights light up, because he was sealed, you know, his dome was sealed. But I remember touching, yeah, this was 1991, touching this gold bit here, and it's actually glass. It was like a mirror. It was a gold, it was, I can't remember if it was a gold mirror, but it was a mirror. I remember how sharp it was. You could easily cut yourself on this mirror part. So yeah, I've touched the real Davros. But I think that's why it means so much to me. There was also another Dalek next to Davros on the left hand side, Imperial, and I think I can't remember, I think you could press his button as well. And then to the right of Davros was the walk-in Dalek, the Dalek that they cut in half. I know they've now sealed him up, they've managed to put him back together, but it was the Dalek that was cut in half, and you could kind of go inside the Dalek and talk into it and make Dalek sounds. I think it lit up as well. So yeah, Museum of the Moving Image, that was an amazing time. I absolutely loved it. It was the first time I'd ever, because I'd never been to like a Doctor Who convention or a Comic Con before, and yeah, I remember it well. I also remember that I think Arsenal were playing, it was a friendly, so it must have been like in August when the season was over. And I remember, because I was on a tube, and I think Arsenal were playing, Arsenal were playing Celtic in a friendly. It might have been a testimonial, but it's amazing the rubbish that I remember just by buying a Davros from B&M. But yeah, so I'm going to get this one open. Yeah, as I said, I'm really excited about this. So, but I'm not going to keep the box. But I've spoken to some people, and they're worried that they're not going to find this set. But I get the impression that there's going to be loads of them. I think the Scalpers, I've said it before, I think the Scalpers have had their fingers burnt. They're stuck with a load of Daleks from previous waves that they're now selling on eBay for the... oh, that's the dishwasher. The wife decided to turn the dishwasher on before I started filming, which is just perfect. But yeah, I don't think there'll be an issue. I think the Scalpers are stuck with Daleks from previous waves. They're selling on eBay for the same price as they picked them up from B&M, you know, last year and the year before. So yeah, so that's what Davros looks like in the bubble. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to chuck the box, but I might try and, so I can see the image, I might try and cut him out of the bubble just so I can see the image before I chuck it. So I'm going to do that off camera. I'm going to do that now. Right, so I did try cutting out of the bubble just so I could have a proper look at the image, but I just couldn't be, after 5 seconds of trying to open it up, I just couldn't be bothered, and I just ripped it off the bubble. But it's a great image. It's a really, really nice image, and it's what this is what Davros sits in front of on the bridge of the Dalek ship. And then there's the screen. I mean, it's really good. It's really good. And this, I mean, it's on here. So this image is copyright of Adam Taylor, 2024, and it's a lovely, lovely image. But someone's, I mean, I don't know. I imagine that Adam Taylor was commissioned to do this for character, and it is such a shame that it's destroyed. It's, you know, it is what it is, because that would have been great to have a, you know, do a little photo with the bridge. But even if I'd cut the bubble off, it would have still had the bubble on there. It wouldn't have looked right. So it's a shame. I think character have made a mistake here. If they've already commissioned the artwork, why not stick a window on there? But it is what it is. But it would have been nice to have been able to use this image, for some toy photography, which I do a lot of. Check out my Instagram. But yeah, so that's going in the bin. But check out the Davros. He is, honestly, I'm blown away by him. I am blown away. He looks amazing. I can't believe I own this figure. I've always wanted this figure. It looks like it looks to me like they've actually made the Davros sculpt in white, in this kind of white plastic, which I think is if it keeps the cost down, it means that this Dalek set is £12.99. Let your eyes be your guide. I'm all for it. So he looks absolutely amazing. Lovely gold paint applications on the hemispheres. I think it's a beautiful job. Honestly, it just looks absolutely wonderful. So happy with it. And also, when I originally saw the images ages ago, months ago, I wasn't happy about the way Davros had actually. Well, it looked like Davros had been painted, but if you look closely, every single wire is actually painted. Like there's like blue wires, the yellow, the red. And I don't on the original release, and obviously I've seen it many times. I'm not sure if it was red around his head, but it does look absolutely amazing. As well as the gold, you can really see the gold inside the dome, and I think that's a lovely touch. That's something they've done new, and honestly, I think it looks great. It looks absolutely amazing. I'm just going to see if his head doesn't seem to move, and I'm not going to force it, because why would he look left and right, because there's nothing to look at. But it looks absolutely amazing. I love it. And yeah, I've touched the real part of Davros and nearly cut my finger on the mirror bit, but it looks great. So the actual looking at the facial sculpt again, because Terry Malloy's version of Davros, he had really black kind of lips and a black mouth, and it looks like they've done that on here. But the colour, I think the skin tone of Davros is not right. I think he was, again, I might be wrong, and it might have been the lighting, but I'm sure that Davros was more brown. But again, I might be wrong. I mean, this is the Emperor. Maybe I'm thinking of Resurrection of the Daleks. Possibly that's why I'm thinking it's the wrong skin tone. But it does look good. It does look lovely. A nice gloss finish on his face. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Any day of the week. But I've not seen him with his dome down yet. So let's do this. Oh, look at! I mean, come on! And it's the lights. I love these lights on the Imperial Daleks. And definitely, I mean, I have thought about it. But if I was ever to get one of those this Planet Earth Daleks, it would be a Remembrance white and gold Dalek. Definitely, 100%. I just love the lights. And I remember I was tempted to buy one a few years ago. It was on eBay. It was a second hand, this Planet Earth. But obviously it was scuffed and everything, so that's another thing you need to take into account. But also you need to take into account room as well. I suppose you could go with my Planet of the Dead bus in the garage, screen used prop. But no, this is fantastic. It looks absolutely amazing. I still can't believe that he was only £12.99. I just can't believe it. Honestly, the lights, well, the lenses, just looks amazing. I can't believe I've got one of these. But that one of the things I've just noticed though is the actual lens is that you see through, so I can see Davros's face through there. That's different, because I'm sure it was tinted in the story, and it was, you could see like a light when he spoke. There was like a kind of line of light which would kind of move across the hexagon, and then it stopped when he started talking normally, and then they did the reveal. But whatever, that's fine. You can't really see it when it's on display, but honestly, 10 out of 10. I'm really happy with this. Highly recommended. I say that people aren't going to have any problems picking this set up, but looking at it, I'm glad I picked it up too, definitely. And I'm really looking forward to getting the other one signed by Terry Malloy. Although I'm still waiting to get my stage play TARDIS signed by Colin Baker. Yeah, I'll get round to it at some point, maybe in the new year. But yeah, highly recommended. 10 out of 10. I absolutely love it. I can't fault it. There's nothing negative you can say about this Emperor Davros. He just looks absolutely amazing. Proper nostalgia, retro 1980s overload. I love Remembrance of the Daleks. Great story. I definitely want to visit the filming locations. But just before I go, I was because I'm not sure about the Resurrection drone colour. I mean, the colour's growing on me, but I still don't think I think it should look more like the Five Doctors Gallifrey Dalek. But then I pulled out the Suicide Dalek from Destiny, just to compare the kind of, because I think it's too light, just to compare the grey. But yeah, it's a completely different grey on the Suicide Bomber Dalek. Although the oval is exactly the same, and I think apart from the bombs, I think everything else is the same. But I don't know. I'll need to do a bit of research on the Dalek, but I am so happy with this wave. I think it is. I just think, honestly, it's blown me away. It's absolutely blown me away. This whole B&M wave for 2024. The second wave is due out apparently it's due out in December. I wasn't interested in picking it up because I'm not interested in. I'm a bit sick of the. I'm a bit sick of the new series Daleks. I've got so many of them. I've said it in a previous video, but I quite like what they've come up with. So I fancy a variation of the God of all Daleks, one of his drones. I really fancy picking it up, as well as the Blowtorch Dalek. I think that would be a nice little addition to the collection. I've got the Blowtorch Dalek from the original line, which is a different sculpt. These newer sculpts are more accurate. So the Blowtorch Dalek, yeah, I definitely want to pick up that Parting of the Wave set. But the other set, the three figures, the David Tennant Friends and Foe, yeah, I'm not interested at all. So I feel good that I only need to hunt for one set in December. But I don't think people will have as much cash to splash with Christmas just around the corner. But anyway, that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It lets me know you care. It also helps the channel. Definitely don't give up you will find these sets. Honestly, I'm sure you will, but they are amazing, and I've got to say, it is the best. But then I'd probably say this every year, but it's one of the best waves that B&M have ever sold. But yeah, that's the end of the video, and I will see you in the next one.